Bet it up, bet it up. Bankroll 10, bankroll 10. Trying to get it in, y'all. Trying to get it in. This one is the Hurst Olds from New York. And as you can see, I got that 24 on the back. And this is mock-up, y'all. Mock-up. So that is a 24 by 9. I think it's got like a 6-inch lip. So the by 9 keeps the wheel 10 overall instead of 11 overall. Most rims, you know. So if you keep them narrower, skinnier, it's going to fit better. There's a 255/30 tire, so you can see the placement right there. It's close, but not too close. But I'll be able to back it up a little bit with the adjustable arms in there. Tubular upper, tubular lowers, double adjustable. It's got some red stuff on there, but I don't know what the hell it is. I haven't looked at it yet. But of course, super drop boxes, getting the Willwood brakes. Front frame notch for that full turn. The ground effect in the front will be getting trimmed out. It's got a bad spot in it down there. Yeah, it's kind of like a little rip right there. But anyways, these rims, I didn't know, they're powder coated. And they're pretty cool. I'm not sure if they ever came on these cars or if that's like a TA wheel. I'm not sure. Maybe they did come on these cars. I just don't know it. They're 16s. But yeah, Ford Giotto, 24. 442, Hurst, and GN were the only G bodies that came with an 8.5 rear end. This one does have the 8.5 in it, but it has the small axle tubes. So with the small axle tubes, they like to bend. So you need to brace them up. So of course I'm doing the super drop boxes, doing the brace underneath like I do, and anti-roll. I'll probably, when I narrow this rear end, the G-body rear ends have that, the 2-bolt backing plate brake bullshit, and then when you take it off, then you got to drill, cut the top piece off where the damn wheel cylinder thing goes through, the bolt, whatever the hell it is. You cut the top off, you drill the 4 holes, shit like that. I'm not drilling them damn holes. I got a couple other sets of box Chevy ends, which are the ones that already have the 4 bolts, and of course they take the same bearing. So I will turn around and cut these ends off, put those ends on, put the new bearings and everything in those ends, and I don't have to worry about drilling no holes and all that. You know, some people are like, oh, good drill bits, oh this and that, blah blah. I've drilled so many of them, I'm tired of that. And then of course I'm clocking the caliper. So when you put, there's no sense in when you narrow on the rear end, you narrow the rear end and you don't clock the end. You know, there's just no point. Yeah, if you're running stock shocks that bolt to the back of the rear end, you know, I can understand that you don't clock the end because then, but you shouldn't be running stock shocks or stock bolt up area shocks or stock, what is it? Bolt-in coilovers, I'm sorry. Horrible. Bolt-in coilovers, horrible. Then you got the people like, oh, bolt-in? What do you mean? What's the difference? Oh, blah, blah. Bolt-in? Mine bolt right in. Oh, yeah, bolt-in. Meaning, if it takes bolts just to bolt everything in, the brackets and all that, garbage. You can't adjust the car as much as you think you can adjust a car. Now, there's kits out there, and I've said it, there's some that are okay, but I'm sorry, in the door. If you're buying coilovers, why pay all that extra money for all them brackets to bolt the shit in? Now, yes, if you're not a fabricator and you're doing it yourself, you want some stuff that bolts in, there's some stuff out there, and if you pay attention to my videos, there's some stuff I've quoted that actually worked really well. If you see a basic setup that has one bolt hole in the bottom, there's no adjustment, and it bolts into the top, now your adjustment's going to come in play of the spring. That means you're going to tighten the spring up more if you need more height. So you tighten the spring up, tighten the spring up, tighten the spring up, and now you basically run out of threads, and then the car rides stiff. So weld in coilover setup, super drop boxes, all that stuff is the way to go. When the geometry is all set up correctly, everything's squared up, everything travels correctly, it's just all around, it's just a better setup. Once again, on springs in the back, a 300-pound spring is the most to ever go in the back, and that's if you're putting a lot of weight in the back. That puke green Regal with the copper wheels, that one I put a 300-pound spring in it. He had 315s in the back. The car rides beautiful. If any of you guys around the Chicagoland see him, ask him. Be like, how does your car ride? And when he says beautiful, well, who did it? Obviously, once he said beautiful, you know, Bet It Up did it. Bet that up. 100. No cap. I ain't never said that shit before, I don't think. But anyway. So yeah, put both the back wheels on. If you can bolt them on. This one was easier to bolt on because it's actually a lot away from the back of the frame because it's a 24x9. But for you guys, I'm trying to do this for you guys that want to be able to bolt it and do the least amount of fabrication, be able to bolt them on and go and stuff like that. So yeah, so it does have a nice gap in the back. Let's see, I'll get up underneath here so you can see. I think you can see that kind of tire. Let's see down here. This one does have a nice little gap right there, but like I said, I want to clear the outside lip, and as you can see right there, you know, the trim, or you know, that still goes in. Let's see, I'm trying to get my tip in there. That's probably that was funny, but anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna go the inch narrow on both sides, so that's gonna put it to that frame, you know, closer to that frame. So I am gonna do the quarter rail frame notch in the back. You know how I do it, make it nice and smooth so it doesn't even look like it was touched. Gonna do some frame bracing underneath of it, tying it to the torque boxes. It's got a healthy little 383 small block Chevy in it. Well, you guys like stuff like this. Oh, got the original Hurst shifter. I moved it around the other day, and using that shifter, it's kind of jamming a little bit because the linkage is hitting the header. So you got to move the column in order to get the key out, so you know, twist the column. But I noticed the header is on the linkage. Linkage is on the header, whichever way you want to say that. But yeah, nice little small block in there. It sounds healthy as hell. The videos of it going up and down the road, it was shifting, like instantly shifting. Before my son, you know, he was driving it, before he would shift it, it would shift. So that's with the kickdown cable. Well, the kickdown cable is probably not pulling enough or something, I don't know, I'm not sure. The distributor, whoa, that's pretty far out. You know what I'm saying? Timing wise. So they must have put it in. Might need the wires moved one position. But yeah, so back here, if I had a light, but the linkage, oh no, right here, see right here? See the shift the linkage? Boom, rubbing the header. Can't see through there. So obviously this goes down. When it goes down, it goes in that way a little bit. But it's touching there, it's touching a good couple inches right there. So everybody shows that dinking headers and stuff like that doesn't mess with your horsepower and stuff. So I'm gonna do something with this, try to flex it a little bit. I might be able to just flex this to flex the column back a little bit, you know, a little push right there, and it might clear. But yeah, she sounds good. He said he wants it to be able to do burnouts, cut donuts, stuff like that. So we're gonna make it happen. The stock gear in there, if you guys saw the videos, or the stock gear, I mean, it's got a 342 gear in it, and the posie's worn out, so it was spinning one tire, and it was lightly spinning it. The car really wasn't coming up in R's too much, so with the 24s on there, going from, you know, that rollout, which is probably like 26 inches, maybe, and that's 30 inches. So you got a 4-inch difference, this, that, whatever. The car is an overdrive trans car. So I'm thinking a 430, which they offer the 430 8.5 rigid axle. Has it. They got everything. Gears ready to go. Everything comes with them, the bearings, all that stuff, the bearing pack, all that. Well, so, you know, the True Tracks take that bigger bearing to go in the housing. I think they even, I'm not sure, but I think they do come with the outer axle seal and bearing. I gotta double check on that. But 430, I think is gonna be perfect for this car. If it's a little higher in RPMs and overdrive, it's not gonna really hurt it. You know, I'm talking 200, 300, 400 RPMs. But so that way he can do, you know, his first, second, third gear burnouts, whatever, donut stuff like that. The higher the gear, boom, and be able to just tear it up and keep the motor in the RPM range where it makes its power. You know, it probably doesn't start making power till 3 grand. So then if it makes power at 3 grand and you're in it, and then it shifts to shifts into second by 4 grand because it's shifting by itself right now. So that needs to be adjusted. And it takes it out of its power. So the 342 with those wheels on it, being worn out posi, it should have blew the tire off down the street. And it was hazing the tire down the street. But then it would shift. Not fall on its face, but you know, the motor has way more to it. You could hear it. It's got way more to it. He said he bought the car as is out there somewhere, New York area. I'm not even sure what town it was. But anyways, that's what we got going on. Boom. As you can see, I got everything right there. All the steering components, the coilovers, the brakes, control arms to the back, control arms front, uppers. The other ones are in the house garage. I'm gonna bring those back here. But yeah, this thing is pretty clean. Obviously, T-top car. I don't know if all the Hurst olds were T-tops. Like I said, I don't get on here and try to act like I know everything, y'all. I've never been that. My work, I've never said is the best. You know, I got problems. I've had problems. I'm not perfect. But there's things that I do know, and there's things that I don't know. And if you feel like correcting me about some shit, man, put it in the comment or whatever, or text me and be like, hey man, you got this wrong, blah, blah, blah. It'll be all good. But yeah, we on it. I got to finish the back of the gold one. I got some tubing coming for that. I thought I had more tubing, but I just ordered some more from True Chassis and some plate steel so I can fix those frame rails on the back of it. And then look, guys, I got me another stoplight. That one's the 3. And I got the other one there too. Pretty cool. Like this man on there talking about stoplights and shit. Still got the Nova. Still for sale. Clean ass car. Yeah, it's a 4-door. Fuck it. You know what you can put in the back? A whole bunch of you know what. Alright, y'all. Bankrol 10, bedded up. A little update on what's going on. I've been doing a lot of other things. Been helping some other people out. Been at a couple other shops, taking care of some stuff. And now I gotta get focused on this place 100%. But everything's in motion. Well, I guess this video doesn't have to be just about this one. Let's go up in here. I'll show you. I'm gonna cut the exhaust off this thing, got it out the way. Got the e-brake cable and all that shit off. This car, same thing. Actually, I'm not narrowing this one. No, I am narrowing this one. Narrowing this one 2 inches because this one's gonna be set up for a 7-inch lip. But I already had the axles made for this one. Boom, I'm gonna do the same thing. Get rid of these housing ends that have that bullshit and put the other ones on here. I think they're in my car in the house garage. The 2 sets of ends that I got. But yeah, see, there's the 3, and then there's the 2 turn angles, blah blah blah. But yeah, that one's probably gonna be mounted up there. And of course, like I said, with that one, mounted on that post right there. I just haven't had time to do that. I took down that rack and shit. Boom, I set that up. I'm gonna put my double barrel wood burning furnace in that corner. That's why I got those 2 red barrels sitting outside. Oh, there's two of them. Those are not for bodies, but if someone wanted to act up, they could be. Anyways, front is all done except for grease and bleeding the brakes and the sway bar. Sway bar's in the box over there. It's supposed to be the narrowed one. I haven't opened it yet. But idler, center link, all that, pro forged, the good shit. Adjustable collars, center sleeves, tie rod sleeves. You know, in one of my videos I was like, the center links, but I was meaning the center link, tie rod sleeves. You want the aluminum, you want this style, you don't want that clamp stock style. That shit, it's horrible. It's like, if you're gonna buy this shit, buy this shit. So many times I've seen the clamps on there, and then the clamps when they turn hitting the frame because somebody lined the clamp up, and the bolt, or they'll have a longer bolt in there. And sometimes when them things come, they're so cheap. One side would be threaded, the other side would be barely threaded. Then you can't line this shit up right, and it just causes nothing but problems. But yeah, Pro Forge, the best bang for your buck. Buy highly. Proforge.com. Exactly how you fucking say it. Proforge.com. Where your local speed shop, stuff like that. That's the stuff to get. A lot of people like to order offline, so offline. But yeah, put the brake tabs on there. And of course, then when I took this apart, the brake fluid got on here, and it made white spots. Then I had to spray it again, and I had to spray it with, even if you guys get brake fluid on powder coat, you got to be careful, because it'll turn, like, it takes the gloss away from it. So now, there's a little shine difference. But yeah, the brake fluid went down there. But what I do is I put the lines and everything on here, tighten it up, the adapter, or the union, whatever you want to call this, the adapter for there. Tighten the line up there, position it where I want it, boom. Then get it up here, tighten this piece on there, put the bracket on the frame, which that's just a self-tap screw. I could get a stainless, put a stainless in there, whatever, self-tap metal screw. Put that piece on the frame, boom, slide this through, put the clip on it, that holds it in place, and then you put the wrench on here, you get this line ready, so that way when you take it off the bracket, that's why I had this shit hanging. I just threw it out though. Had it hanging, so that way. I wonder if it's still wet from the other day, or if maybe the paint locked in or something. But anyways, I still gotta blade it. We'll find out. But then take the line off the car side, and hopefully it doesn't break. These I got lucky. Somebody, obviously that's not stock, but took it off the bracket, put it right on there, boom, so that way I didn't drip and make a mess all over the floor. Which, whatever. I mean, I just didn't want to suck the master dry. That didn't sound right either. But then when you're trying to bleed it all out, stuff like that, then you're chasing air that you shouldn't have had, stuff like that. It's alright. It's almost there. A couple more hours of working. As you can see how I got that one jacked up. It's a little bit of an angle, so that tire's, tucking in there a little more. So that could be throwing me off. But an inch on both sides is going to be the best bet for that car. That's got, 28 spline axles in it because it's an 8.5. G-body, 8.5s, 28 spline. Regular 7.5. G-bodies are 26 spline. So when you got power and stuff like that, most of the time axles break from rear end hop. So when you got rear end hop, it's due to having bad suspension and stuff like that. And when that tire gets to hopping, and it causes it to spin and grip, and bam, you snap the axle and you snap them at the splines, and you actually break them, like twist the splines off. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the splines would break on an angle, twist. They wouldn't just break straight off. I got a guy right now telling me, oh, this and that his axle broke exactly right there, but it's just too perfect, too clean of a cut, and it doesn't make no sense. But I was gonna take care of it for dude, this and that, and then dude started acting like I'm supposed to take care of it right now, stop, drop, roll, this, that, boom, and then wanted to act like a tough guy and shit. So I finally didn't respond back to him. I ain't got time for all that shit. I ain't want to talk about suing me and shit. Changed the motor in the car. The car was built 2 years ago. 2 years ago is when I did the car. I don't know what's happened in those 2 years, but his motor guy builds a motor and this and that or whatever and changes stuff. And then even admitted to driving it, and the trans didn't feel right or something, and all of a sudden, boom, then it wasn't going nowhere. And I drove the car before, and the way that the linkage was set up on the car, you know, putting an LS in it and whatever trans, 4L60, 4L80, I don't know. The linkage, you know, you're grabbing a column shift and you're trying to move a column shift, and you can't find the gears, like it's just so sloppy and fucked up. So I can see dude probably threw the motherfucker in reverse or something. But anyways, 2 years ago, and then I'm just supposed to warranty it, like, you know, oh, I only put this many miles on it, oh, I only did this. Well, when we first talked, everything was cool. I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna see what I can do, and I'm gonna see when I can get you in this and that. Then he wants to start taxing, blowing my phone up, talking about he got to get out of the mechanic shop, and oh, it's got to go now, and oh, what's my address, and it's gonna get dropped off, and where the hell am I gonna put it? So then, like I said, a week of him texting, talking shit, acting like he was tough, and then threatening me, and I had to ask him, you know, is that a threat? You know, it is whatever it is. However you want to take it. Okay, well, I guess it's a threat. So I told him straight up, you want to come to my shop? Come to my shop right now. We can talk. So it never came. But anyways, you know, I deal with a lot of goofy shit. A lot of goofy shit that I should never have to deal with. I'm not saying I was wrong or wasn't wrong or didn't do the job right and shit like that. I did what I did. I put in it what was in it. I don't have the text from back then to see what we agreed to. I know he wanted me to write up paperwork. I wanted all the paperwork to be changed to this and that and this and that. So that way he could have it appraised. And what he paid me to do the job and what the paperwork said he paid to do the job was a very big difference. So to get the car appraised for this and for that and blah, blah. So, you know, I should have knew that was just being a sign of, I took it as a sign of being shiesty, shady, whatever you want to call it. But with all that talking, it's like the second I was like, all right, cool, we'll figure out what happened. Okay, I'll take care of it. Let me see where my finances are. Let me see what I can take care of. Let me see what I can grab. Blah, blah. It's like that just went to his head, and then he thought he could just talk tough to me and shit, you know. People be funny. People be real funny. But yeah, alright y'all, that's enough with that. Yep, I still got the Oklahoma one sitting here, but it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. Like I said, I gotta re-up some parts for this thing. So that's why I'm trying to get these out faster so I can re-up this man's parts. Because of that bullshit I had to go through. Yeah. But yeah, colorless heaven around here, huh? G-body, G-body, G-body. Colorless. Alright, y'all, I'm just yapping. QA1 uppers, these are the Pro Touring, and I say on G-bodies about using the Pro Touring that on 24s you don't need to. He ordered the Pro Touring, and like I said, it's fine. I do have other shafts. I have stock ones that I could put in there if I need to, but the tire is a 255/30 24. Oh, that's what that tire is too on that car. 255/30 24. So being by 9 and being 10 overall, it actually sits on there. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a nice sidewall, a little bit of pull in. So this one right here, I think is let's see. I think this one's 11 overall. No, this is the same. So this is a front. So this is a 24 by 9, 10 overall, 255/30 car. I'm trying whatever I can do to clear here. And like I said, I already did a little trim. I took this header off. I took this fender bolt out, and I made the inner sit on the outer. I could run a metal screw through there, but I'm not done with how much I want to move it or how much I'm going to trim this until I get the car sat down, and that's what I'm actually going to do next. Front wheels are going to go on. I'm going to put the stock back wheels on it and set it down on the plates. Got the alignment plates right there. And I'm going to start adjusting the front end. I'll get You always adjust your height side to side without the sway bar hooked up. Very last thing you put in is the sway bar. And the easiest way to put the sway bar in is to bolt the links in first and just set the nut a little bit and then bolt it to the car. And normally you do that on the ground and the sway bars go right in. You bolt it to the car and then you put the link in. You're trying to get the link in. Because that's the one thing that QA1, there's little things over and over that they can do. When the sway bar comes around here and it's got the little flat edge where the rubber and everything goes through, it's the wrong angle, because again, the sway bars are not made for big rim cars to sit up higher. Yes, they made it narrower, but the end is still on a weird angle because we need the car to sit up higher. So we're riding at a different height. So once you move that different height, the sway bar moves like that, and then it causes that little angle in there to be more of an angle, and it eats at the rubber. So then, and when people over tighten the sway bar lengths, it eats the rubbers out even faster. So little things like that make a difference. But what I'm saying with this alignment is I'm gonna shim the back. I'll do my measurements of the tie rod to the ground or to my alignment plate, see where that's at, and see which one needs to be moved more than the other. If most of the time with the QA1 arms, you shim the same. So I will shim just the back because I want to bring the wheel back, which gives the sport steering. And now the other tan cutlass like this, same owner, that one has the regular sway bar, QA1 on the front, or it might be a stock one. But it rubs, because I didn't degree it that much, but anybody knows with a G-body, you're rubbing even on the stock sway bar, and now that's why they made the quote-unquote big rim sway bar. Yes, they made it narrower. Yes, it clears. So we do have that in that box, so it clear there. So I'm going to be able to degree this back more, which brings it back and brings it in, and we're going to see if I can get that to clear without doing an outside cut to this with the 255/30 tire. Now, the other thing that would save all this stuff and help us not cut these fenders so much is if the rim companies, to talk to these guys and be like, hey, we want less hub on the back of the rim. We want less material. Take a 1/4 inch. Start taking a 1/4 inch off. That's going to help so much. Box Chevys, take a 1/4 inch more off the back of the rim. You guys are already labeling box Chevy, fits box Chevy, fits G-body, oh, this and that. Well, what do you mean? You mean the 4 3/4 bolt circle? Or do you mean this? Well, Volanos and shit like that. Take a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch off, then the wheel is going to sit under more. They're already big ass rims, 28 shit like that. You already are going to have to frame notch. You're already rubbing no matter which way you go. So take a little bit more pad off the back of the rim so the wheels sit under more. And that would help a lot of guys out to where they don't have to cut their car. I don't know. Anybody can take that information and run with it or whatever. I don't know. The backs. That wheel right there, for them to say, oh, they bolt on G-body. Okay, so are you saying that the wheel bolts on because of the bolt pattern, the 4 3/4 bolt pattern of the wheel, the center board of the wheel, shit like that? Now, that wheel on there being the by 9s and overall, I know I've said it 40 times, it has a nice little gap behind the rim to the frame. So to make that directly bolt on, if you were to drive that car right now, you would cut the tire up on the upper, you would cut the tire up because of the trim, the wheel lip, the wheel well lip would eat the tire up. But now if you took a 1/4 inch more off of that back pad of the rim, that wheel would sit under a 1/4 inch more. So you're telling me you can't set it up to make it be a 1/2 inch more? And then when you say they directly bolt on, I'd rather have a wheel bolt on and touch the frame a little bit and have to run maybe an 1/8 inch spacer than they say, oh yeah, it bolts on, it bolts right on, oh no problem, bolts right on G-body. Well, we all know 24s rub on the front frames no matter what. Some people say they would never cut a front frame. Some people say, oh, there's plenty of turning, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, when you see a G-body, and I'm throwing in the subject off, when you see a G-body and the front wheel turns to the right, and you see the rim lay over, like the face is going to touch the ground, that means when they shimmed it, they shimmed the front, and they moved the wheel farther forward. So when you move the wheel farther forward, it reverse degrees it, and then when you turn this wheel, we turn left, this wheel would want to lean over on its face. Now, a lot of you guys are like, damn, let me rewatch that video. Let me rewatch that video. You guys see it a lot. In a lot of these videos, watch these cars when they turn. You'll know when somebody, and then the fender will be cut way more because they move the wheel forward. And the way the cars turn and stuff like that, it's goofy. But fronts, if we had a little right here, again, if we had about a 1/2 inch off the back of the hub of the rim, and you know, some people are like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Okay. See that back pad? Look how thick that back pad is. Now, if that was a 1/2 inch shorter, the wheel would sit under the car a 1/2 inch more. You know? Maybe somebody should open a rim shop, and when you order the rim from, just don't get the holes. Then you're getting into plating and all this and that, but I don't know. You know, there's 2 holes. You got the outside lug hole, and you got the stud hole, and how it seats. So if you ordered a set of wheels blank, to where there's no, then you could drill it how you want to drill it, stuff like that, and then you could take as much pad off the back. Because if we say, oh, well, here, just take 1/2 inch off there. Well, look, the stud hole has only got maybe a 1/2 inch, so now you can't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If I was a rim company, I'd have a G-body sitting in there. I'd have a box Chevy sitting in there, and I'd be having wheels made to fit the car exactly. Oh, if we got to make the barrel, you know, oh, there's only however many companies that make the barrels. Okay, well, you guys that make the barrels, why don't you start making the barrels maybe a little bit, you know, a 1/2 inch less on the front, or a 1/2 inch less on the back, or this or that, or how the face, you know, make the face sit out a 1/2 inch more. You know, make barrels skinnier. You know, we got these big ass rims. We don't need them all to be fat. We want our back rims to be fat. We don't need our front rims to be fat. We're not running deep ass lips on the front. You know. Anyways, all right, y'all. 32 minutes of me yapping about this and about that, but I'm trying to spit a little bit of knowledge and what people could do to make this game even better. So, I mean, a lot of people have followed and learned a lot, and then went and, you know, told some people, but never said where they learned it. You know, that it up. I know everybody's like, where's the banner? I haven't brought the banner over here yet, but I'm gonna be putting it. I'll be putting it up there, so that way, you know, take those hooks down, put it up there. I just haven't grabbed it from the other shop yet. But yeah, all right, y'all. This one, a couple more days here, I should have it ready to go, and then I'm gonna be on that one. I gotta get these wheels back off the back of that one, and put that thing back in the cabin. I had to get that locked up, figure out what I was gonna do axle-wise, but so that rear end is 26, or the axle length is 28.5 inches on both sides of the G-body rear end. So now it's gonna be 27.5 with the 1 inch off each side. Still be C-clip. You know, C-clip axles, C-clip eliminators, stuff like that. Nowadays, you really don't have to worry about C-clip eliminators, because the C-clip eliminator was to make it to where the axle wouldn't break and then come off. Well, with a drum brake, the axle could come out. With disc brakes, the axle can't come out because the disc brake caliper bolt, the bracket bolts to the housing, that the axle can't come out, so it stays in the car. So that one will go back to C-clip, and like I said, it's a true track unit that's gonna go in there. All right, y'all, bet it up. I'm outies. I'll probably post this video tomorrow or something. All right, y'all, I'm out.